Welcome back, familiar, to Northside LDN. And finally, Deji, the Tottenham fan that predicted, Mystic Meg, that predicted Tottenham's going to win the league this season. Tottenham's going to win the Champions League this season, yeah? It's all mad right now. Do you know what I mean? Shit was all good about a week ago. This guy, yeah, is always running. This is the thing with these Tottenham fans, especially you, Deji. You think, yeah, I'm a feel that puta. I know your tactics. Every time you get cooked, you postpone the show, man goes on Twitter, man goes on Instagram, sees what's the popular excuse for Tottenham fans right now. What you know what I'm saying? Man starts putting bullet points in that for all the excuses that all the Tottenham fans are going to create for you. Come here, yeah, with your coursework. But let me tell you this now. It ain't going to work, bro. It ain't going to work. So listen, we got a big show today. Make sure you like and subscribe. And listen, let's go to the main man, Dej. How come we didn't do the show yesterday, bro? Why didn't you want to chat, bro?
Bro, yesterday, obviously, I'm lining people up one by one. All these Arsenal trolls in it. I have to sort out the trolls one by one. But I wanted to save you for today because I knew that I could dedicate my time. True Gunner, we all know what Conte looks like, and no disrespect, bro, but you look a little bit like him. I'm not after
I don't know.
If they don't like my work, I leave. My compensation.
I'm glad that you know what, it's a breath of fresh air to see you, Northside and True Gunner, sitting on this show looking all pumped chest. You get what I'm saying? But when we get into the show, I'll be able to explain to you what we saw on the weekend, why it came about, and what we should be looking forward to. But as for me, what I don't want is your team flattering to deceive. There is no point beating Tottenham and you don't do something this season. That would be stupid. But you know what? Let's get into it because I've got a lot to say. Do you get what I'm saying?
You need to focus on yourself. What happened to world class Sonny? What happened to Harry Kane breaking the record? What happened to all of that?
Are you ready? You want us to get into it?
You said, yeah?
You want us to get into it?
All right.
Whoa. Hold the fire. Hold the fire. Deji, you just sit back, chill out, my bro. Relax. You no need to talk today. Just get cooked, bro. Yeah? Flipped like a burger in McDonald's. That is what is happening right now. So, let's talk. Kitty Catty, yeah? Kitty Catty.
What did he do? He did nothing.
He scared the living daylights out of your defense, bro. Yeah? Your defense.
He had one shot on goal, bro. Come on.
One shot on goal. That's correct. That's right.
Is True Gunner TV.
Hang on. I never said you could talk. Wait a second, bro. Yeah? He was scaring the living daylights out of your defense, yeah? Eric Dyer, more like Keanu Taylor from bloody EastEnders, yeah? What about the Argentinian who's won a World Cup? What, the Argentinian lurch? Yeah? What did he do? Absolutely nothing. I'll tell you what, right? I didn't see anything Northside. I didn't see nothing. I see 11 Arsenal players and 10 ghosts and one drunk Frenchman at the back. Yeah? One pissed up fucking Hugo. What do we call him? Hennessy Hugo. Yeah? And then I see this like wig hovering on the sidelines trying to give out instructions. That's what I see. I see a team get put in an absolute spliff.
But hold on. I swear they got more world-class players than us. What happened? Kulusevski, world-class, yeah? Where was he, bro? Where was he?
You know what?
Where was he?
Northside and Brandon, what we're not going to do on this show tonight is play dumb, innit? And you guys know full well that you could have a world-class team, but if somebody put Nkitty Catty in goal, it don't really matter, does it? And the thing that's been going on at Tottenham is that we've got world-class players, but they've been mishandled and mismanaged by Conte. Look, when we were talking about the lineup, me and Brandon, we were arguing in terms of what the best 11, the two teams 11. And I can tell you that both myself and Brandon, none of us expected Sessegnon to start. Nobody. When I saw that Sessegnon was starting, I was like, okay, here we go again. Conte is sabotaging the team. And then, of all games, I think he had a decent game, Pepe Sarr. But you don't start a 19-year-old in the Premier League in a North London derby when you've got Basuma fit Them things only happen when you got injuries. But there
Can I
was
just
no
say,
excuse
Edge,
for what he was doing, bro.
can I just say, right, yeah? You're making some very, very, very valid points, right? Very valid points. And they are definitely talking points from a Tottenham perspective, right? But let me ask you this question. Where was Son? Where was Kane? Where was Kulusevski? Yeah, these players who are supposed to be your big man, right? Missing. I didn't see Son all game. I mean, Harry Kane had a couple of chances, but my man was playing at left back majority of the game. And then you got Kulusevski, yeah, whipping in balls like, do you know what I mean?
I mean, he's just come back from injury, though. Let's be real.
Don't get it twisted. Kulusevski, I rate that guy. Yeah,
Thank you.
I do rate that guy.
Thank you, Brandon.
But I don't know. There's just something fundamentally wrong at Tottenham. There really is something fundamentally wrong.
Excuses is always Perisic. Oh, why is Perisic not playing? Why is this? Why is that? At the end of the day, bro,
North side. If we're being,
why is Spence not playing? If Spence was playing, yeah, what difference would that make with Son?
It would have been a different game. Honestly,
if
Spence was playing, it would have been a different game. You know that.
Dej, I don't see how any of the other. I don't see how Perisic would have made much of a difference compared to Sessegnon, because let's be honest, right? Perisic is not that great defensively either, right? He's good at going forward. He's good going forward. But Martinelli for me, I don't know about Northside. I don't know whether he agrees, but Martinelli for me had a stinker. He was probably one of our worst players. So in terms of Jed Spence making much of a difference, again, I don't think he would have made much of a difference because Martinelli had a stinker anyway.
He would have been flying forward because Martinelli weren't really doing nothing. He would have had to work hard, come back, but Martinelli weren't doing nothing. And part of the reason why Martinelli had a stinker, you tried to make a disparaging comment about one of our players. But the truth of the matter is Martinelli didn't want it from Romero, bro. He knew if he was going to dilly-dally on the wall, he was going to get smoked. And let's be real, in football, I think Drogba said it best. He lets people know Wagwan within the first 1 minute. Martinelli did not want it from Romero, and so he exercised his right to remain silent.
You doubled up on him and he had a bad game. But like Brandon's saying, Perisic wouldn't have kept Saka quiet, bro, because that's his weakest part of his game. I'm just saying. In the second half, you created a lot through Kulusevski, yeah. And I was even saying, get Tini on to silence this guy because he was having some fun with Zinchenko. But for me, even with Kulu spamming in crosses and creating stuff, bro, where was Harry Kane?
Do you know what shocked me?
Where's Son been all this season?
Do you know what shocked me more than anything, right?
You weren't clinical enough. You wouldn't have done anything because even when Kulusevski was trying to create something, nobody was finishing their dinner.
But the issue that Tottenham have, bro, is that Conte is set up a negative system. And so nobody, even your team, if you're playing this system, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, but this is where the argument comes in, right?
Yeah.
And I agree again. Conte is a problem, big problem.
Yeah.
But Conte's system is very negative, very defensive, right? But they didn't look like a plan, bro. This is the thing, right? You're bringing in this young Sarr kid, who I actually thought was one of your better players.
Yeah,
right? I thought he played very well, believe it or not.
Respect.
But considering you were like playing 10 at the back and 1 in attack, like you normally do, right? I couldn't believe what I was watching. You didn't do nearly enough to close down Thomas Partey. You didn't do nearly enough to get anywhere near our most creative player, Martin Odegaard. Saka was absolutely schooling Ryan Sessegnon, and he didn't get any help on that side. Your defence, like, I know what you're saying about Romero, and yeah, he throws his foot in the first minute to let him know, like everybody know that he's there. But Dyer and Romero couldn't get anywhere near Nketiah. Every time there was a ball played through the centre of the pitch, and it was a toss-up like a 50-50 between Dyer or Nketiah or Romero and Nketiah was beating them to the ball every single time. It was mad to watch. Absolutely mad to watch. And do you know what made it even sweeter? You still think that you're winning the Champions League, bro. Playing like that.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
mad.
let me explain. And
Oh,
you
Dej,
know,
we're gonna only hear from you. What is the explanation? We want to know. Like a Lannister must pay his debts. Spurs fan must pay their debts, bro. You ran your
yeah.
mouth. You said
Well,
it. You're
first
talking
and
about
foremost,
under the
what,
same system. You came out with your chest. You
yeah,
came out with your chest saying you're gonna win Champions League and Premier League, and you already knew what kind of football you're gonna get from Conte because you
yeah,
saw
yeah,
it last season.
yeah, no, of course, of
Don't
course.
come out with the style of football because under this style of football and this manager, you're the one that predicted the Champions League win or Premier League.
I mean,
Let us know.
so for me, first and foremost, let it be known that I predicted an Arsenal win live on this show this time last week because I could see the football from my team. But look, there's a lot of things going on. I can see Northside, I can see Brandon pumping their chest. So I explain. First and foremost, we got to accept that this is a freak season for Arsenal. The way that you, man, are working and doing things, you guys are performing week in, week out. We established last week that your team on paper is not better than any of the top six, but you guys happen to be performing. And we know that the reason for this performance is because you guys are having the best season that you've ever had in the Premier League because it's a freak season, similar to what Leicester City done. Tottenham, on the other hand, is having a crap season. We're having completely the opposite season to you, man. And the thing is, I wanted Spurs to lose. I wanted Spurs to lose because I want Conte out. This is what happens when you put weight on Mickey Mouse trophies. I've been saying it and I'll keep saying it. The reason why Tottenham is where they are is because we started listening to some of you fans, Northside, what a bad trophy, Brandon, what a bad trophy. And in that quest, decided to go and get trophy winners and to forsake our own football for Mickey Mouse trophies in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. But really, it's about finishing in a Champions League spot and going for the big prizes, the Premier League and Champions League. And we're paying the price and we're suffering. The truth of the matter is, Tottenham got Conte. We're not ready to spend the money that Conte needs to get the job done. And therefore, we need a different type of manager. But this thing here ain't working. And it ain't a surprise. The system don't work with the players that he's got. He wants new players. The club don't want to spend money because he's not prepared to sign a contract. They don't want to spend the money because he's not prepared to sign a contract because we don't want to buy players and then this guy darts off in the summer. So it's a catch-22. So right now, you're right. It's a mess. The board's a mess. The manager's a mess. The players are a mess. And guess what? Even the fans are a mess. However, despite all of this mess, that style of football suits Europe more than it suits the Premier League. And I told you here live and direct on the show that I don't give a damn if we don't finish in the top four anymore, provided we win the Champions League. Now, nobody can tell me anything about the Champions League. Deji, do you still believe that you can win the Champions League playing this dead football? Yes, of course I do. Because we're still in it, Taras. When we're not in it, then you can tell me something. But right now, we are in it. And I reckon that Conte, with his jammy self, could pull off a miracle in the Champions League and us bring it back. But as for the league goals, it's done. And it's already over. I don't want to hear from you, Northside or Brandon, sitting on the fence like Humpty Dumpty, sat on the wall and staying on the wall. I don't want to hear that crap. We know it's done, innit? You, man, have won the league. I told you from 11 games, 10 games, 11 games in, that I can see a Leicester City happening. And can I just say, you know, we are saying the right shit on this channel when Gary Neville is quoting me. Gary Neville quoted, man, when he made the reference to Leicester. But I've been saying that for months on this show.
Nah.
So it is what it is. No, I have been, Brandon. Don't try and rob
No. I'm not saying you ain't. I'm not saying you went. What I think Gary Neville, and to a certain degree yourself, is very disrespectful to say that this is a Leicester City. Because, yes, nobody saw it coming. But are you telling me that Arsenal can't maintain competing for the league for the next 3, 4, 5 years?
Brandon, you see how you, man...
We're building something, bro. You're crumbling.
You, man, and everyone in the chat
we're building.
are quick to say that I'm delusional. you know already that your squad is not a Premier League title winning squad. You know that. So therefore, it means that you, man, are having a freak season. It happens in football. Leicester done it in 2015. Arsenal's doing it in 2023. I don't believe... Look, I think what happens after this season, after you win the league, is that normal service is resumed. Normal service is resumed. You men are in the Champions League. You get slapped up in it, and you don't do jack in the Prem. That's what I think.
Okay, so you're saying right now, let me say this, yeah? You made your prediction knowing you wasn't happy with the style of play by Conte. You know that your board doesn't back your manager and give him the resources that is needed. You know that Conte will flip out if he's not given those resources, yeah? Yet you still made your prediction. Now, you want me and Brandon, yeah, to sit here, yeah, and you think I'm going to be a filo da puta, I'm going to be stupid enough, I'm going to be a stupido to say that we're going to win the league when I know that we have no adequate rotation in midfield. We have no adequate rotation for a striker. We have no rotation adequately for the wingers, yeah? And you're telling me, and we have no adequate right-back rotation either, apart from Ben White. Other than Ben White, there's nobody else as good as him on the right back position. Yet you want me to put my chest out and say that. This is why I said to you, do you want to take that statement back? Because when you can see that there's a lot of things at your club that need to be rectified and haven't been rectified, like Arsenal going up there, we're 17 days in the transfer window and we're yet to sign someone, and now we're playing scattergun approach for players that we're trying to panic and get. How can I come out with chest? At the end of the day, I'm not stupid enough, and I've been watching football long enough that a squad, a team wins the league, not just a starting 11. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to come up with my chest. The manager's doing very well.
Can I
just with the players? I'm not going to come out with my chest, bro, because you knew that there was a high chance that Tottenham wouldn't back Conte. Yet you predicted Champions League winning or the Premier League.
Yeah, I just want to dissect. I just want to dissect a little bit, right? So obviously you're saying, you know, about dropping out of the top four is not a problem as long as you win the Champions League, yeah? Fair point, right? Yeah. Do you think that you can afford a 45-minute performance like what you played against Arsenal in the first half, like what you've done against Aston Villa and loads of other teams this season, against the likes of a Bayern Munich or a Real Madrid or a PSG without getting killed? Do you know what I mean? And let's be honest, Edge. Let's be honest, Edge, right? What is going to change in order for Conte to win this Champions League? It's not like he's going to start all of a sudden bringing in Jed Spence, who's arguably your best fullback. He's going to carry on playing fucking Sessegnon or Perisic, or, you know, he'd probably carry on playing this Sarr kid in the midfield and making the wrong decisions, and he'll continue to play 10 at the back and 1 in attack, Harry Kane at left back, and fucking, you know, drunk, pissed up Hugo in the goal. So I don't see the logic, bro. I really don't.
He's not even learning. You got tucked in twice now, not in North London derby as well.
The truth of the matter is, and you confirmed it last week. You confirmed it last week that sometimes there's illogical things in football, bro. It's not logical for you, man, to be top of the league. And what I don't like is when you, man, and everyone in the chat do that thing at Kid and Play. For those of you too young to know Kid and Play, go and Google it. You can probably watch it on Netflix. It's got a guy with a high top. And in that movie, they go, I smell pussy. Because basically, what I'm smelling right here is a bunch of pussies who ain't got ready to pump their chest. Do you get what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'm telling you, it's a freak season. But Brandon, no, you're right. The truth of the matter is, it looks peak for Tottenham. I'm not going to lie to you. You're right. It looks peak. But guess what? It don't matter what it looks like, Stone Cold Steve Austin. At the end of the day, it is what it is on the pitch. It was looking... Tottenham was on the brink of getting knocked out against Marseille when they went 1-0 up. Guess what, bro? We ended up winning 2-1. What I'm saying is, if you, man, can be top of the league, Tottenham can win Champions League. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Tottenham are necessarily going to do it under Conte. For me, I hope Tottenham gets slapped up on Thursday so that we get rid of my man and bring in Pochettino. That's what I want to see right now. If we get Poch back in, I reckon it could be done.
But why is Poch your saviour? He never won nothing with you.
Bruv, what do you mean,
Why
bruv?
is he your saviour, bro?
That's-
Well, acting
yeah,
like you won
I mean,
things under
like-
Poch, he left, and you want him back because he's going to bring back the glory.
That's
He didn't
like
do
going back.
anything.
That's like going back with an ex-missus who's been. Do you know
No,
what I mean?
it's not.
Yeah, but
Bro,
it
you know
is.
what it
It
is?
is,
Let
bro.
me tell you what it is, bro. Sometimes with the ex-missus, you know,
Mhm.
I used to say to my bedrooms, look, if you love someone, yeah, don't play games in it. When it comes to love, there's no need to play games. Just say, look, you're the person that I love. Done all this, I'm gonna wait for you to call me, all of that crap. The truth of the matter is, Spurs made a mistake in getting rid of Poch. We were second. We were in the top 3. We were regular Champions League in that competition. We were competing. People were fearing us. Part of the reason why we were able to build our stadium, we became more global. That's a bloody
Can I
mistake.
ask you a quick question? Quick question.
That's
yeah?
why we got Mourinho and Conte.
I want to ask you a
Because
quick
of
question. But let's just say you get your wish, yeah? Let's just say, because you're Mystic Dead, yeah? You get your wish, yeah? You get Poch back.
Yeah.
You still got the same owners. And what was the problem that happened when you had Poch? Your owners weren't spending
You
money.
didn't back him.
So you may bring Poch back. What I'm trying to ask you is, you may get your wish. Poch comes back. If your owners don't change, and they haven't changed, let's be real. Since Poch got away, they still haven't changed. Yeah, certain managers have been backed a little bit more than Poch, but they still haven't been backed the way they should be backed. Managers like Mourinho, managers like Conte, where you know they don't want Spence and players like that. They need proven world-class players, yeah, so that they can actually win something. The problem at your club is your ownership. It is your ownership. So whether Poch comes back, yeah, the football will improve. Yeah, you'll get the best. He'll probably get you play a sexier style of football, and you'll get more out of individuals. But what's the underlying thing with Tottenham? The ownership doesn't want to actually go out there and spend the money to actually compete. So for me, that is like a small man thing. If I was the owner of Tottenham, I'd give you Poch, because a lot of you would shut up, and it would be PR. You lot will shut up. You lot think something's changing. Like
but
you
at the
thought
same-
something was changing under Mourinho.
you man
Like
are
you
a
thought
bit
something was changing under Conte, and then not back him.
No,
And then
but
the manager, and then when things go sideways, get rid of him, get another man in.
Right.
You lot
Yeah,
need
but
to
at the
go
same time, right? This
and
is
go for the ownership. It's
At
the
the same
ownership.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, right? This is where I do agree with Dej, right? And he is on the right lines, right? He knows that bringing in a Mourinho, bringing in a Conte was a big mistake because they didn't back him, right? Big mistake. And Pochettino can work with limited funds,
Yes.
right? He can improve players, this, that, and the other. The reason why I think you appointing Pochettino again would be a big mistake is because he's been there already. I mean, he knows how to work with the owners and he knows how to work with limited funds. But there's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on his shoulders because all the media and everybody else is going to say is, what did he win when he was here before? Nothing. And then the moment that you start having a couple of bad seasons, because it will happen, transitional period and all that, right? Because he's going to need, let's be honest, right? Some of these 30-year-old man that fucking Conte's brought in, and some of these players that are not good enough, Pochettino or any other manager that you get is going to need the time to get rid of all these deadwood players and bring in what they want, right? So you're going to have a couple of seasons. You're going to have a couple of seasons where, you know, it's going to be a transitional period. But because Conte's already been at Tottenham, you're going to have that extra pressure as well of people saying, well, what does he want? Why is he back here again? And that not from your fans necessarily, but from other clubs as well. And while other clubs are progressing, like Arsenal, like Manchester United are right now, you got Manchester City, no doubt Liverpool come back at some point as well. Right? Healthy. Hang on, Dej. Right. My point is why don't Tottenham try and look for somebody up and coming, somebody different? Do you know what I mean? Like for example, right? Brighton have just got rid of Potter. Potter has gone to Chelsea, and they've got this De Zerbi guy. Nobody had ever heard of him before. He's come into Brighton. He's taken over Brighton. They're still playing sexy football. They're still beating all the big teams. They're still doing everything, you know. And he's a young and up and coming man. I just think you should maybe go down that route rather than going back to an ex-manager.
I hear what you're saying, but you got to also remember that under Poch, he wasn't supported for 18 months because we're talking like he was given the same sort of support and resources that Mourinho and Conte were given. The truth is, we didn't support Pochettino.
Yeah, but bro, Dej, hear me out. Hear me out.
I hear what you're saying, bro.
Dej, hear me out, right? That's like us saying now, right? That's like me and Northside now saying, well, now that Arsenal are finally spending, let's get Arsene Wenger back.
No, it's different, bro.
But it is.
And let me explain because
no, it is though, bro. Because Arsene Wenger didn't get back for Arsene Wenger didn't get back for 8 years.
You don't want Pochettino to come back to my club because you're scared of it, bro.
No, Dej. Arsene Wenger didn't get back for a good 8 years, right? We was going into Champions League with players like Andre Santos and all these dead players.
Why
do you know
would
what I mean?
Want to get Arsene Wenger back when it's going well with Arteta? That don't make no sense, bro.
But the point is if it wasn't going well with Arteta, right? If it wasn't going well with Arteta, which it wasn't at the beginning, right? Us fans could clearly see that the club is spending more money than what they've ever spent under previous regimes, under Emery, under Arsene Wenger, consistently, season in, season out. That would be like us turning around going, well, it's not working with Arteta, but now that we're spending money, we might as well get our most successful manager back in Arsene Wenger. It makes no sense, bro. Move on.
The only thing I will say to you is that when Poch left Tottenham, he left with unfinished business. And so he left a door open, a space for a potential return back. Now, I don't see it as a negative because Tottenham played their best football. He put Tottenham on the map by what he did. And let me explain to you, bro, because I need you to see this emphasis. It's people like you that give football a poor name, and you make me sick because when the Tottenham faithful listen to Brandon, I don't know why they're listening to Brandon or Northside. That's when we get our knickers in a twist and we get it all wrong. So I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and I want you both to answer legitimately. Those of you in the chat, please answer. Don't be pussies like Kid and Play. Answer the effing question. Question number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're more likely to bring in more money for your club if you finish 4th or if you win the FA Cup. Please answer the question. Don't try and I don't want no fluffy stuff. I don't want you both of you.
Of course, if you get
to attract more money within the FA Cup,
yeah, of course. Dej.
No. Answer my question because I'm going to ask.
Yeah, that's fine. And I'll answer the question. Yeah, finishing in the Champions League quite clearly brings more money than an FA Cup. However, Dej, right? Tottenham have done all these things over the last few years. They've built a new stadium. They've built better. They've built better training facilities. They've hired serial winners in terms of managers. Right? They're trying to tell the world that they are a big club. You cannot be a big club and not win a fucking trophy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So let me ask you my second question. You're more likely to attract world-class players if you finish 4th and in the Champions League or if you win the FA Cup.
Can I say something? You know, you keep bringing this up here. Okay, yeah.
No, I need you to
get more money.
I need you to answer the blood clot question.
I'm answering your question. You get more money for Champions League, yeah? Since you've been in the Champions League, what players have you bought that are Champions League level?
No, we'll get to that, bro. Just answer.
No, it's as simple as that. Because I told you this before. What is the point in qualifying for Champions League if your club is not going to reinvest that money into buying players to put you in a position that you have a squad to actually win the competition? Right. Arsenal qualified for how many years? Over 20 years for the Champions League. And Tottenham, you know it's the truth as well with you. Like you spend even less money. What is the point if you have owners that pocket those proceeds and don't go out there and spend the money needed to go and improve the team? Because you be going and buying players that are conference to Europa League level. Yeah, but you were qualifying for Champions League. At the end of the day, I don't care about just qualifying. I care about my club going out there and the ownership actually using those funds to support my team.
I hear what you're saying.
It is pointless. When Arsenal finals, it is embarrassing. When we got slapped up against Bayern Munich 8-2, it is embarrassing.
I hear
Your
that.
club
That's a
is
good
even
question.
worse than my club. You don't spend the money. So it's all great saying, oh, what are we going to get if we qualify?
I hear that,
Your
but
club don't use those
which
proceeds
one?
to
But
do
which
things.
one is more likely to attract better players? Quickly answer that.
Yeah, but not if you don't put a bid
Yeah,
for
but-
it.
Well,
Okay,
you
then.
know what? No, sir. What I don't like what you and Brandon are doing is this kind of, like coming out of the movie Goodfellas, isn't it? You man trying to pretend like you don't know what's going on. The truth is, when you man got into your stadium, you weren't spending money and you man struggled. Tottenham, you got to remember that we opened our new stadium in a pandemic. You man didn't go through that. Yeah? So
Yeah, but-
we might not be at a level where we can start purchasing just yet because we're still trying to recover from a pandemic, my brother.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but you didn't do that before the pandemic. You didn't stadium. You didn't do that.
I don't like this.
Either, bro.
Right?
And when I was doing that, I was vexed, and I didn't know Brandon them times there because I didn't have my channel. I was vexed because at the end of the day, we had a £20 million mortgage that we were already paying off, qualifying for the Champions League and getting to the quarterfinals, and we weren't spending money that we clearly had. And then said there's no quality in the market. We went and got Rob Holding and Arsene Wenger came out and said, I'm sorry, it doesn't cost 50 mil. So at the end of the day, it's not an excuse to me, bro. You, man, before you got the stadium, before you COVID times, you still wasn't spending that money, bro. And you lot don't put your foot on the neck. You lot don't put and at the end of the day, I've called out Arsenal fans about this.
And can I just add as well? Can I just add as well, right? Don't make the same mistake that we did as Arsenal fans, right? And allow the football club to fool you, right? And I'm being genuinely serious here, right? Because as Northside said, we got fed the excuse that, the stadium and this, that, and the other, when it was clearly bullshit, right? And, we've got to be able to qualify for Champions League to pay the stadium, whatever, right? My point to you would be, yes, getting top four, getting Champions League will attract better players than winning an FA Cup. I agree. However, I don't see Tottenham as the mould of team that is going to spend that sort of money on world-class players. Do you know what I mean? I would rather, and sit here and honestly, right, compare you to Liverpool, right? Look at how Liverpool did it, for example, right? When Sadio Mane joined Liverpool from Southampton, he wasn't a world-class player. Same with Virgil van Dijk. Same with Mohamed Salah. It's not about necessarily buying world-class players. It's about building a team that's sustainable and that can continue that on. You're seeing that at Arsenal now. Aaron Ramsdale, not world-class player before he joined Arsenal. In fact, most Arsenal fans didn't even want him. Martinelli, a £5 million buy from Brazil. Saka coming through the youth academy. Granit Xhaka, nobody wanted him here. He's all of a sudden turned into a player. Yes, we've got the likes of Thomas Partey, who most people would have said is a world-class player when we brought him. But it's not about buying world-class players willy-nilly. Do you know what I mean? You can do that with any team. You've got to build a team. And that's why I don't think it necessarily matters too much about qualifying for Champions League or not. It's about your owners, bro.
But what I'm trying to say is that you, man, keep putting too much emphasis on the Mickey Mouse Cups. And I'm just trying to remind you and those people in the chat that this kind of bigging up the kind of weight, the kind of importance that you're trying to give to the Carabao Cup, to the FA Cup, that was in the 1800s.
Let me ask you this though, Dej.
It's not a big deal. Every week I will keep labouring this point.
I know you will, right? But let me ask you this: if Tottenham, led by Harry Kane, had have won an FA Cup when, say, Harry Kane was 24, 25, and he was in the prime, leading your attack, do you think that would have inspired him and the other players that are still in your team now at that point in time to be able to push on and win you more trophies? Because they've already had that taste for one trophy. And this is where I, like, for example, this is where I also worry with Arsenal this season, right? Yeah. And I won't necessarily stick my chest out and say that we're going to win the league because hang on, because our players haven't done it before. City's players, however, have been here before. They've done it. They've seen it. And this is what I'm saying to you. Yes, the FA Cup, in your eyes and in many fans' eyes, and the same with the Carabao Cup, is not important. But what it is important for is creating a winning mentality within your players so that they can go on to win other trophies as well.
sorry.
Does that make sense?
No, but you know, Brandon, you and Northside, what are you, man, auditioning for ESPN?
No.
The Carabao Cup is good enough for Man City.
I can't take this analysis. I can't
Just
take
answer me that. If the Carabao Cup is good enough for Man City, and Pep is probably arguably the best manager in the world, yeah, and he doesn't take that as a joke to breed that winning mentality, why is it not good enough for Tottenham? And if you're
let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you. You see, one thing I love about football is that the table don't lie, but the proof is in the pudding. And you can always tell how seriously a team takes a competition by the squad they put out. Now, you, man, got slapped up in the Carabao Cup. Mm-hmm. Were you slapped up because you were beaten legitimately, or did you not just disrespect the Carabao Cup competition? Because for me, you, man, didn't respect it.
Yeah,
then,
you're right.
Looking at your team against Oxford United was a disrespect to the competition, to the 152 years of FA Cup, because that team, when from time you're bringing on Rob Holding, you're not taking that game serious. So don't try and tell me to be serious about something you, man, ain't serious about.
Yeah, but the difference is though, Dej, is we've won the most FA Cups out of any club. Yeah, we've won the most. The Carabao Cup this season, we couldn't afford to take that seriously, and there's a reason for that. Because you're seeing it now, right? The teams
you're admitting it's a rap.
But hang on.
Are you admitting it's a Mickey Mouse Cup?
Yes, to me, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup, right? But hang on.
Respect.
The reason why we couldn't afford to take the Carabao Cup seriously this season, because you're seeing it now, right? Yeah, Manchester United have got to play tomorrow because they're in the Carabao Cup still. Then in 3 days' time, 4 days' time, whatever it may be, they've got to come to the Emirates, to one of the most important teams in the league, and try and win. And this is why, right? Because we haven't got the squad depth to maintain the level in all competitions. So, you know, we're going for the Premier League.
Clip it.
We want to stay in the FA Cup, obviously, because it's our most won competition. But at the same time, right, the Carabao Cup is not important to us this season.
Wow.
Can I just say, this is for you, Deji. This is for you. This is solely for you, yeah? This is solely for you.
Brandon.
Deji, this is for you. Whatever I said, whatever I didn't mean it. I want Pochettino back for good. We want you back. We want you back. We want you back for good. Yo, it's not man. Don't even sing it out. Come on, man. That should be the tune. White Hart Lane. 3.6.
Anyway, Dej, get back to your point, Dej, because
I was gonna say that Northside should clip minute 35 on this show, because that was an inspiring bit of chest pumping that you did there to talk about Manchester United in a way that they're gonna play tomorrow, and then they got to come play with the most informed team in the league.
Oh, wow!
That's how you know that the freak season's got to you man's head. Because now you can start to talk down on all the other clubs. Anyway, bravo. I hope for you, man, that your team delivers. I really hope. Because you know, Taib knows, Arsenal Manic, Craig FC, BX Gunner 81, West Mins, Prince Forward, the whole posse, even the ones overseas, you, man, know that if you, man, do not deliver this season, you, man, are getting chopped up. I can't wait. Do you get
but
what
you
I'm
can't
saying?
chop us up though, Dej.
Why not? Why not?
Why? Because you're
where you are,
fan, bro.
That don't make no sense.
How can Dej? How can you chop us up? Yeah. How can you chop us up? Let me make this point now, right?
Oh, chop you guys up for career careers.
No. How can Tottenham fans even have the audacity to try and chop us up, right? When we've had a decade of acting like a small club, we've just gone. You know how like transitions happen, right? We've gone, let's give Tottenham a chance now. Let's see if they can win a few trophies and that, you know. Let's see if they can represent North London properly, you know. Yes. And we give you a chance. You had 8 years and you won nothing. Absolutely nothing. So and then the only time that you competed for a league title, yeah, you finished third. So I don't see how Tottenham fans can come at Arsenal at anything at all, regardless of what we do this season or don't do.
No, I'm not coming. I'm just saying, with the way that you, man, are pumping chest, with the way that you are rapping on this show tonight, you get me? You're wax lyrical, you in your bedroom, Northside. Yeah, no, enjoy yourself. Enjoy it because you guys done the double over.
You
better make it count, innit? That's what I'm saying.
What have I said?
Don't pussy out now.
No, Dej. What have I said? What have I said that is so outrageous, right? I said we're the most hang on. I said we're the most informed. I said we're the most informed team in the league. Go and check the stats. The stats will tell you the same thing.
My guy, sending me to do work. I like it.
It's true. I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything that is absolutely outrageous.
No, you haven't.
The only one who's saying anything outrageous is you.
I didn't say anything outrageous. I said you guys are going to win the league. So you guys.
Yeah, you also said that Tottenham were going to win the Champions League.
I've shifted in the last couple of months from you guys finishing 8th to conceding that you man are going to win the league. That is a major shift on this show.
Bro, you're the one trying to draw us up to put chest. We ain't putting chest. But I want to put the question to you, Dej. Where did Tottenham go from
Marco Silva is a good manager, by the way, Taib, because Taib's trying to run joke on Spurs. I think he's a good manager. I thought he was decent at Watford. I think he was unfortunate at Everton. I don't think any manager, I don't even think Pep could do a thing with that Everton team. And he's doing a great job at Fulham. If Tottenham went in for Marco Silva, that's as good as bringing Poch back. I will take him in a heartbeat.
Where'd you go from here? Where's your club go from here? Get Poch and what?
I think we get Poch back and we finish where we started, bruv. We finish the work that we started on the Poch. If not for Poch, we don't attract the likes of Mourinho. We don't attract the likes of Conte. He laid the foundation that these two brothers have been eroding the last 4 seasons. That's what's been happening. Bring back Poch. He brings in fresh young. I mean, let me tell you, Poch was not wanting to get rid of Carl Walker-Peters. Let me remind you, Carl Walker-Peters, we would chew your arm off if we could get him back from Southampton instead of Doherty, Emerson Royale, and bloody hell, Jed Spence, who we don't ever see. Can I remind you that under Pochettino, Eric Dyer wasn't starting. He weren't getting a game, my brother. Do you get what I'm saying? So all these crazy guys, so for me, and under Pochettino, we had Dele Alli. When that brother left, that poor boy's season done. My guy can't even get a game for Besiktas. That's how far he's fallen from grace. And let's be real, that attacking lineup was the scariest lineup in Europe under Poch. Son, Kane, it was Dutty. So for me, get him or a Marco Silva type. But I'm quite happy with Poch. I hear what Brandon's saying, but I feel like Brandon's being a little bit harsh. He wasn't given the resources to do his job properly. So let him come back, but under the proviso that he's given the resources. If you're given what you need and you still flop, there's no chance for you to come back. I'm hearing Tottenham's linked with Tuchel. We don't bloody want Tuchel. No, we want someone who can build average players and make them quality. A bit like what you said. A bit like what Arteta's doing. And can I just say this? You, man, have Spurs to thank for your success this season. Yes, Brandon. Yes, Northside. You got Spurs to thank because you, man, were in the mud, and then you took a leaf out of Tottenham's Pochettino book, and you're basically doing what we did.
Hold on. Arsene Wenger was a better version of Poch.
No, suck that one.
Tell me, no, hold on. He used to buy players that weren't ready-made players and got us to win leagues. Right. Your manager got you playing good football, won you nothing, bro. Not even a Carabao. So how dare you tell us that we learned from you, bro?
Bruv, you took the model, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. You took the Tottenham model under Arteta. You lost your way. You lost your way under Emery and all the other people.
Poch and Redknapp, bro. You're playing good football under Redknapp. What did you win?
Nah,
what did you win?
Redknapp was 4-4-2, bro.
I don't understand how you're talking like that. Just because you're playing good football, you're playing good football before you got Poch. You always play good football. Level, bro. But what did you win, bro?
Not guaranteed.
This is why the mentality
not guaranteed top four.
You lot got some tap way of thinking about football.
We were not guaranteed. We were guaranteed top four on the coach.
But you didn't win nothing with him. Why are you talking about him like he's a savior, bro?
But how many people win something, bro? Because you're talking like
How
there's
many people? Well, not you. Not you,
so many
bro.
trophies to win. There's only 2 trophies to win in the season.
Okay, but diddly ding, diddly dong won it.
Who?
Diddly ding, diddly dong.
Bruv, there's only 2
Ranieri.
trophies to win.
But what I'm saying is, bro, are you just happy with nice style football, bro? Because he didn't. What did he? What
I'll be
did he-
true. I'll be true.
At the
I'll be
moment-
truthful with you.
And at the moment, I prefer to be top 4 and to be feared in the league by our nearest rivals, the Big Six. That's how we became the Big Six. You're not becoming the Big Six winning FA Cup. No, that doesn't happen.
I'll
You
be
become
truthful with you,
Big
Dave.
Six when you're in the
You
top
want your
4,
club to go out
year
for the-
in,
For the
year
cups
out.
that you respect, Deji, for the cups that
Huh?
you respect, the Champions League and the Premier League, do you trust your management and the people that run your club to do what's necessary for you to actually win that? Because if not, all you're going to go reverting back to
At the
is
moment-
days and Poch days where you're playing good football, winning nothing.
At the moment, they haven't shown me that they have the nous to do that. However, if they bring back Pochettino and give my man at least 100, 150 mil, then I'm saying, yep, Tottenham has taken a positive step in the right direction, and that we patting you, man, next season. I mean,
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this,
Edge.
Edge. Let me ask you this, right? Why would they give Pochettino 100, 150 mil?
Why
Because
wouldn't
he's been. Yeah, but what the point I'm making is they know Pochettino, yeah? They know how he works and all this, that, and the other. They know that he can pull out miracles on limited funds, right?
wonder. We
So-
need to get over the
No,
line.
but my point is though, Dej, is let's be truthful now, right? Your owners do not care. And I can see it happening right now, right? I can see Tottenham getting Pochettino back and you reverting back to type and going back to the exact same way as he did things before, where they're giving him limited funds and not doing enough in order for him to do his job properly. This is why, when you just said about Marco Silva,
Yeah.
I prefer that. If I was a Tottenham fan, I'd prefer that than Pochettino, purely and simply because it's somebody new, it's somebody fresh, coming in with fresh ideas, somebody who's got a completely different attitude and outlook to Pochettino. Let's be honest, Pochettino was a bit of a yes man at Tottenham, right?
Yeah.
He might be the man who will also call out the board because he has no loyalty to the Tottenham board, right? He will also call out, he might be the man who might also call out the board if he's not getting the funds, but also provide you with the football that you want and the bringing up your young players and up and coming talent and stuff. I just think that makes more sense than going back and reverting back to type with a manager that you've already had before who could end up slipping into being a yes man again. Do you know what I mean?
I'll take your point, but you know, I'll take your point on the basis that you, man, hated Arteta and now you, man, are wax lyrical about him. You know, it's amazing to see. I wish that you, man, just
say that without smiling.
I
You're
wish
the
you
one
man-
trying to push
I
me and
wish you man
Brandon
stuck to your-
to say that we're definitely going to win the league. Deji, you're talking about bringing new managers in, this and that, yeah? Who are you looking at in this transfer window? Because you clearly need players. Let's be real. You said 150, yeah? If Poch comes back, gets 150. When I'm looking at your defense, let's keep it real. The only good defender you got is Romero. So you need, if you're continuing with the system,
We need a goalkeeper first and foremost.
you need
Let's start
two
with the
other centre
goalkeeper.
backs, which you were linked to in the summer. 2 centre backs. You didn't go out and get it. Yeah, fair. Then you got Doherty, ain't good enough. You got Perisic, that is good, but against certain opposition, like when you're coming up against Saka, you need something.
We got a boy. We got a young. We got an Italian.
You need,
Anyway,
you need a
I'll
left back
give you
that
my
can actually
lowdown.
defend. You need a
I'll
left
give
back
you
that can
my
defend. You don't rate Sessegnon, and Perisic, you already know he's better creatively going forward than he is defensively. So you need another. So that's about 4. That's 4 players, yeah. Then in your midfield, okay, you've got Basuma. You got Højbjerg, but if Højbjerg gets injured, who's the rotation? You got Højbjerg and Bentancur. You haven't got much rotation on the bench. So let's say you needed one more midfielder. That's 5. Then you look at Harry Kane. We don't know his contract fee's got 18, 16 months
18
left
months,
on. You need another striker regardless.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
about 6 players. Do
You
you
want
think
Moses?
150 is enough to get those players in to actually really improve this club and this squad? And Lloris, because Lloris looks like he's on the downfall. It looks like he's on the decline. Seven players. Do you think 150 is good enough to
No.
get those players in
But
the position?
what we need to do, and I'm putting it out there. Look, everybody like and subscribe. This is
Just real quick as well, Dej, before you answer that, right? I just want to ask you this:
trying to get more subscribers.
Is Kulusevski actually signed for Spurs, or is he on loan?
We're getting him over the line, bro. We're getting him over the line. Don't be trying to wish
How
bad
much
upon
did it cost? 30 mil? 30 mil?
Kulusevski is a Tottenham player, my brother.
Wait, 30 mil, isn't it?
The only reason I'm asking, right? The only
So that's
reason I'm
not 20
asking.
left of the budget.
The only reason I'm asking is because, like Northside just said, right? I can name 5 players in your team that are probably good enough to get you where you want to be.
Yeah.
After that, I can't name anybody, and I think you need a major clear out.
Yeah, we do.
A major
We need
rebuild.
to start again. Now, I'm saying live on this show, hashtag Deji at the wall. I've been offering to do the Spurs job for free. Okay, I've been offering to do the Spurs job for free, and if they can't get back Poch, then I want to crack at the job. For me, we go and get Tom Heaton, the Man U number 2. I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Lloris has been a fantastic servant to Spurs, but it just when you get old, you start needing goggles, mate. Sometimes you need glasses, and you start to need a walking stick and reading glasses, all that. Lloris has done his time. He's not the same guy.
So talk us through it then, Dej. Right? Yeah, you're the Tottenham manager. Yeah.
Yeah.
Realistically,
yeah,
and I mean, you got to be realistic. Shining. Who are you? Yeah. Tom Heaton's realistic, right? But realistically, who are you going out and getting?
I would get. We've already got a guy called Udogie as left back. We just sent him back to his club. Yeah, so he's coming at the start of the summer season. He's a flying left back. He's 19. He's already an Italian international. So I think he's all right. So we don't need a left back. I think we go and get like a Lewis Dunk from Brighton. I've been talking about Dunk for years. We just need someone who's just going to put his body on the line, head the ball, and then we go and get Pau Torres. We can get Pau Torres for about 40 mil. Yeah, we also bring in Porro at right wing back. He's another 40 mil. That makes 80. Yeah. We then bring in Trossard. He's about 30 mil. So that's about 110. All right. And he can play midfield. He can play anywhere in the front three. And then I think we sell Kane and Son at the end of the season. I'm not lying. Kane's 30. Son's 31. And I think at some point, Tottenham's got to need to prepare because these men ain't going to be playing football forever. So I'm saying rather than waiting for the inevitable, we might as well just start clearing up shop now. I say we sell Son and we sell Kane now. We still got Cooley, we still got Richarlison, and we use the money for the sale of Kane and Son to bring in Osimhen from Napoli. That means our front three will be Richarlison, Osimhen, Kulusevski. Then we've got Trossard, who can play in that kind of number 10 midfield kind of role. We've got the Bissouma. I think it will come good. We've got Pepe Sarr, who's 19, good player. Porro, who can do the job. Udogie, Dunk, Pau Torres, and Tom Heaton, and that's a decent team.
And you got Bentancur as well.
Yeah,
and you'd be happy with that, yeah?
I would be, and that's 150 mil with some change.
150 mil. Question for Deji: is Poch a better manager than Arteta? If yes, why?
Is Poch a better manager than I think at the moment? Only time will tell, but Arteta's had a good start. He's done well. Because Poch won the league in France, mate. And I don't think Arteta as a manager has won the league with any club.
Wait. So did Unai Emery. How highly do you rate Unai Emery?
Yeah, he's a good manager, mate. I think he's decent, but he's not better than Poch.
Listen, I look at it and think Conte has actually proven himself to win the Premier League, win Serie A. He's won more major honours at this moment in time than Arteta. But Arteta seems to be, playing a better football. And yeah, okay, cool. Conte hasn't been there as long as Arteta. As it stands, I look at the trophy.
Can I just ask you a question?
I do think Conte is the better manager.
Can I ask you a question?
At the same time, unfortunately, your club doesn't do what you want.
How highly do you rate both of you? I want to ask you a question. How highly do you lot rate Claudio Ranieri?
Claudio Ranieri?
Yeah.
Not very.
Well, he won the Prem.
Yeah, he did.
So Why don't you rate him highly? He won the Prem, bro. That's the hardest thing to do in the world.
And he did it with a Leicester team, and
he did it with Leicester. Come on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we put some respect on it.
Yeah.
I
It's a
think
fair
more,
point.
more longevity, to be honest. Conte won the Serie A when the team that he was managing wasn't the favourites.
Yeah, but
he won the Premier League when Chelsea weren't the favourites. There's more to do there.
My brother there, whatever his name is, what's his name, asked the question, who's better, Arteta and or Pochettino, because he thought he was smart. But the truth is, if you man can't rate Magnificent Jaffa, if you man can't rate Ranieri, then I can't be rating Arteta just yet.
Well, Fuad just put a perfect question. Question for Northside. Do you rate Arteta? Let's wait to the end of the season, because at the end of the day, I've just told Deji that he's looking at Poch like the saviour. If Arteta does all of this and at the end of the season doesn't win the league, then he's in the same boat as Pochettino. Very good football, very good, but you didn't get over the line and you didn't do what was required into winning a major honour. My standard doesn't change. You know, Arteta's doing very well, and you're trying to get me to discredit Arteta. Arteta's doing very well, especially with the team that he's got. But ultimately, you need to get over the line. The reason I don't look at Poch as a saviour for Tottenham is he hasn't got over the line. The same with Arteta. If Arteta does that, then we can talk about this conversation.
The FA Cup is not over the line for you, man.
No, that's not good enough.
No, well, it's too early to judge, right? And the only thing I would say with the FA Cup win, right, is Arteta did do it within his in his first season, so it wasn't his squad, right? But this is where I won't give it too much credit, because I believe Arsenal won the FA Cup 4 out of 5 years before that. Do you know what I mean? So we already had that kind of winning that trophy kind of thing going on. So it wasn't, that difficult for him to kind of do that, even though he did have to play some difficult teams on the way. So no, I don't think you can rate either manager higher than the other at the moment. It's all about longevity, like Northside said. You know, if Arteta wins the league this season and then goes on to win another couple of Premier Leagues or even a Champions League, then yeah, you have to put him up there and say he's one of the best managers in world football. But as of right now, he's proved nothing. Same with Pochettino. Proved nothing. You know, going over to France and winning the league in France, I mean, fuck me, I think I could do that. Do you know what I mean? Especially with PSG. Like, it's mad.
Like, Tottenham might as well go for Bielsa. If you just rate playing good football, then just go for someone like Bielsa. Because for me, yeah, you want to see entertaining football. I'm not begrudging that. I grew up with Arsenal playing sexy football. Let me keep it real. Yeah? But at the same time, if that doesn't bring you silverware, what is the point? What is the point? Rodgers had Leicester playing very good football. What major honour did he win with them? At the end of the day, I remember when he was with Liverpool, they played very good football. They had Suarez, they had Andy Carroll, they had all those players. What did they win? At the end of the day, football's about winning. Yes, you want to be entertained, but that entertainment needs to match up with actual trophies. You're talking about Pochettino. There's loads of managers that can play very good football. What did you win?
No,
at the same time, I can see why Deji wants the good football and that, because it's going modern day football now, right? When was the last time you see a team in the Premier League shithouse their way to a Premier League title? The last one that I can remember was Conte at Chelsea. Then you had Mourinho at Chelsea. I mean, we're talking fucking what, 6, 7, 8 years ago now. I just think, like, modern day football now, the way that football is now, it's all about playing good football and winning. Like, I don't think that a manager like Conte or Mourinho, even in their prime, would be able to keep up with this Manchester City team and the way that they play. And the only way of doing it is to match them or to do it better than them, which is what we're doing this season at the moment. And you can see it with Manchester United. Like, right, Manchester United, what? Fucking Ten Hag's not even been there 12 months, and already they look like a completely different side. They're playing really good football, and it's working wonders for them. I just don't see how this shithousing, housery football that Conte and Mourinho wants. I think that's old-fashioned now. I think that's dead and gone. The days of that is dead and gone. You know, serial winners or not. That's where that's where I would defend Deji. You know, I do think, you know, if you're going to be a big club, you got to play good football, especially if you want. I mean, let's be honest, right? Tottenham spent $1 billion on their stadium. I believe it's got the most capacity in the Premier League as well. Holds the most amount of people, right? You're not going to want to. But if you're a season ticket at Tottenham, right, holder at Tottenham, why are you going to want to spend all that money to go and watch this dead football week in, week out, like, and get no enjoyment from it whatsoever? It's the same analogy as what I was saying the other day, Northside. I feel bad. And I feel bad for Deji more than any other Tottenham fan, believe me, because I like you, Dej, right? And I don't like many Tottenham fans, believe it or not. But yeah, if you're a regular guy and you work a 9 to 5, I made this point the other day, right? If you're a regular guy, you work a 9 to 5, like most of us do. Some of us are lucky enough to enjoy our job. Some of us, or most of us, don't, right? So the people like myself who work a 9 to 5 don't enjoy their job. The only enjoyment that I get is at the weekend when I get to watch my team play football. If you're a Tottenham fan right now and you're working a dead 9 to 5 job, so you don't enjoy going to work, you can't enjoy the weekend either because you're watching this dead football and you're getting spanked by every single team every week. It's like, it must be mad. So, yeah, I can see why he wants to play good football. But I don't know about Pochettino. I don't know. I mean,
you know what? Go on, Dej. We'll let you close up the Tottenham segment. What's your last words before we'll go through some players being linked to Arsenal real quick? I want to get you lots of opinions.
Look, I hear what you're saying, but I do feel like part of the reason why Tottenham is where they are is because we listened. And I was one of the ones saying, don't listen. Don't be chasing the Mickey Mouse Cups in order to... We sacrificed our identity for the Carabao Cup. And that, for me, just can't be... You can't legislate for that. Do you know what I mean? That alone is why Levy should leave, because that was just stupid. I bet you now, if Tottenham was still playing good football, top 4, we will always moan. Fans are never happy, but we would be a lot happier than where we are. And I think for me, what pained me more than everything is that under Harry Redknapp, under Villas-Boas, under George Graham, under bloody different Spurs managers apart from this one, under Mourinho and Conte, we normally put up a fight. We would get beat. But I remember when we had bloody Bentley scoring a worldie at your stadium. You know, Tottenham weren't very good, but we had heart and we used to fight. And you guys, that's where the respect came in. That's where you guys say, you know what? It's a North London derby and anything can happen on a North London derby. Because Tottenham would play with heart. I watched my team not turn up for both North London derbies, and I just can't. I can't legislate for that. I can't back that. It's a disgrace. That's like Real Madrid not turning up for Barcelona. So for me, that should be a standard. If there's any game that you should be prepared for as a club, it's against your rivals. And Tottenham haven't turned up this season. We haven't turned up. And I want my Tottenham back. I don't care if we don't get top 4, but we got to put in a shift when we play Arsenal. And that's the bottom line. And we haven't done that in years.
Bro, I'll be truthful with you. You've got your Tottenham back, bro. You know how they say things come full circle, yeah?
You can suck
those. For 10 years, Arsenal acted like a big club. For 10 years, we were Tottenham. Now we're back to competing in whatever, right? And you're back to being this little mid-table club. It just is what it is, bro.
Well, we'll see. Because we're still in the Champions League. We're still in the Champions League, so we'll see, mate.
It's on about Champions League still. Right, okay, Champions League, yeah? Can you, Reggie, AC Milan, over 2 legs?
Yeah, we're going to slap them. That one is a minor.
You're going to keep Rafael Leao with that dead defense?
Well, we're going to slap up AC Milan and you men are going to put some respect on my bloody name.
The only ones that are playing better football than them in the Serie A are Napoli. They're
Bro,
playing good football.
bro, AC Milan's getting slapped up. If Harry Potter can get a result home and away against AC Milan, Tottenham's getting a result against AC Milan home and away.
Okay.
You know what?
You don't look very happy tonight, Dej.
I'm not happy, bro.
Why?
But let me tell you why. I like watching my medieval programs. Shout out The Last Kingdom, shout out Game of Thrones, shout out all of them things there, Ottoman. Do you get me? You man won the war, but you man ain't won the battle. So you can bask in your glory, you can bask in the fact that you won home and away this season, but we're only in Jan, bro. So I'm not happy, but as you both know, we would be quits if Spurs win the Champions League. And for me, Tottenham are going for broke right now. Bun the league, bun the Premier League, we can't win that. But we're going to put all our eggs in one basket, and that's the Champions League. And if we bring that home, then we're quits, job done.
Dej, I want to cheer you up, right? I don't like seeing you this sad, this down and depressed, bro. So I've got an idea. North side, you're gonna have to, put us back on to all three of us. So because I think you are join in on this one, right? So I want to bring you a bit of happiness in your life, right? So the best thing you can do, bro, is repent your sins. Repent your sins. Join the proper North London team, yeah? Join the Arsenal. Forget about the chicken on the beach ball and, all this dead football and that. If you want proper enjoyment in your life, come and support Arsenal. It's not too late, bro. Yeah. It's not too late. Like I said, I like you. I wouldn't do this for any other Tottenham fan, I promise. But me and Northside, I don't know if you see the video yet, right? We've already converted one Tottenham fan. So you might as well be next, bro. Come on.
Well, I will say this though, and thank you for your offer. But if you catch me outside the Arsenal stadium, I won't lie, it'll be by mistake.
Deji, you know what? You can't say we didn't try. We tried. As real friends, we tried to counsel you. You know what I mean? If you can't talk to us, talk to Frank. We don't know what else to say to you. You know what I mean? Talk to Frank and sort your life out. Listen, guys, I want to get you lots quick opinions on certain players being linked to Arsenal. The first one, Moussa Diaby, plays for Leverkusen. He's valued at 50 million. He's a left winger that can play as a forward and as a right winger. 15 appearances in the Bundesliga, 6 goals, 3 assists. Let's go with you, Brandon, first. Would you take him at Arsenal?
Don't want him, bro. Don't want him. I'll tell you why. We're midway through a season. Like we've already discussed, we need strength in depth. We need players that can come in and do it now. The Bundesliga is absolutely dead. Take Bayern Munich out of it. It's one of the worst leagues around. Yeah. Maybe aside Borussia Dortmund, but it's one of the worst leagues around. It's one of the easiest leagues to win. We could probably put Tottenham in it and they'd win the league. Do you know what I mean? Take Bayern Munich out. So that's what I'm saying.
Take my club's mouth out of your mouth,
I just think there's better players out there for a cheaper price that we could get right now that would improve our squad that are Premier League proven. Leandro Trossard being one of them. I know Deji wants him at Spurs, but I think he's gettable for us right now.
I don't think I have any more to add to that. The next one is Leandro Trossard, being valued at £30 million when I saw, but it's showing a transfer mark 30 million euros. Obviously, plays for Brighton. We already know that they play expansive football. Would he be a good rotation player for you, Brandon? To Martin?
Get it done. Get it done. He'd be a perfect rotation player. Perfect rotation player. I just think he's at the right age as well. He's had a good couple of years in the Premier League. He's done all right at Brighton. Obviously, he wouldn't be a starter, but he could certainly push the likes of Martinelli and Saka for a place in the team. And it can also do a bit, like you say, a bit of rotation with him. I think it'd be a good option to use in the Europa League, especially. So, yeah, I see that as a no-brainer deal, mate. I don't know why Arsenal haven't tried to make a move for him already.
I couldn't agree anymore. I mean, Dej, would you take him at Tottenham? Would you know, you've mentioned him.
In a
I'll definitely
heartbeat.
take him at Arsenal. Would you take
There's
him at
nothing,
Tottenham?
there's nothing to think about. We'll take him in a heartbeat. However, I wouldn't have him at Spurs under Conte because you can see that Bissouma isn't himself under Conte. But I think if we bring in a Marco Silva or we bring back Poch, which is the campaign, then I could see Leandro Trossard really doing a great job and really continuing where he left off. I actually think Trossard suits Spurs' system more than he suits you. I can see why you want him, but I think he's a better fit for Spurs.
Do you know what? With me, the only problem I've got in this is that they're going to want too much money for him. I mean, we've gone for Mudryk. Everyone's seen that we've got 100 mil minimum to spend this transfer window. The only thing is they may turn around and say to Arsenal, well, he's gone up to 50 mil.
Yeah, but I can't see that though, Northside. And I'll tell you why, right? The player's already unhappy. Yeah. This, not unlike the Mudryk deal, which Edu made an absolute shambles of, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Unlike the Mudryk deal, this is a deal that can be negotiated. Like, we can go in there and offer whatever we want. So can Tottenham, by the way, right? Because the player's unhappy. He's made it very clear that he wants to move and the manager don't want him. All it takes is for either of our clubs to go in there and say, look, Brighton, £20 million, take it or leave it. Yeah, take it or leave it. The player's not happy. You're not going to give him the game time. The manager wants him out. The best thing you can do right now is take the £20 million, right? And then if they're a bit, then you speak to Trossard. You say, look, you got a chance to come to Arsenal here and win the league title. Or you got a chance to, you know, go and play for Tottenham, where you'll have more chance of winning something than at Brighton. You know, they're trying to be a big club, believe it or not. But you'll be playing with Tottenham. Yeah, with Tottenham, you'll be playing in the Champions League. Let's just say that, right? You'll be playing Champions League football. I don't see how, if you turn around to Trossard and said, look, just to force the move through, put in a transfer request, make it official. Yeah. I don't see how you don't get that deal done for 25, 30 mil max. And that goes for both Arsenal and Tottenham.
The only thing I've got to say about what you're saying, I agree with you, Brandon, but we can apply the same logic when it comes to Arsenal for Tielemans and for Maddison. Both players don't want to stay at Leicester. Both players got contracts running down, and yet we're trying to get them for peanuts, and they're not budging. They're saying this is the price, and if you don't meet the price, then you're not getting a player. We've already seen Arsenal not go in for the amount that Shakhtar wanted Mudryk. For me, I didn't want Mudryk, but the point is this. We're always penny pinching. And I get that the player wants to leave, but the club also has to accept the offer, yeah, until the player is out of contract. And with Arsenal, we keep penny pinching, which is why we lost out in the Mudryk deal. And for me, when I'm looking at Leonardo Trossard, I could see them being cheeky enough, just like Leicester, and saying, well, the player ain't happy, but that's the price. And trying to wait to the summer and trying to wait for the summer that other teams will come in and there's a bidding war and then we get outbid. This happened to us numerous times. Do you know what I'm saying? So I agree with you that the approach should be, how much is Trossard? There's the money. But at the same time, do I trust Edu? Do I trust Arteta? Do I trust everyone that's in control of the negotiations? No, because we should have got Tielemans over the line. We should have got Maddison over the line. Minimum. And we're yet still dragging our feet. So that's the only thing I would say to that. I agree with you, but do I see our club doing it?
Well, it sounds like every player that we're linked to right now is got €100 million bloody price tag slapped on them, and that is Edu's fault because he's made like I watched Lee earlier on the Football Terrace, and he said it bang on, absolutely bang on. Edu has made it very, very well known to the world that we have €95 million to spend now. So every football club that we go to, it automatically becomes difficult to negotiate a deal because they know that we've got €95 million. And of course, they're going to go, wow, you got €95 million. You can afford at least another €5 million more. So Edu's fucked this transfer window up, bro. He really has. And the only way that I see anything coming out of it is if we try to negotiate a deal for a Leandro Trossard or a Wilfried Zaha. I don't see like this Diaby guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't even know the player that well. So I'm not going to sit here and criticise him or say he's great. But no doubt the Arsenal fan base will be going fucking ape shit about it on Twitter, like they normally do. But why would you want a player from the Bundesliga to come in who, look, he might well be good, but in terms of a short-term fix to push us to a Premier League title, is he going to be the man to do it? I don't think so. Because, mate, 90% of the time, if you sign a player from the foreign league, they need time to adjust and to settle in. We ain't got time. We need a player to come in and hit the ground running now. So I don't know. We sit here and we talk about Tottenham's, board and owners and stuff like that. Ours is just as bad. Just as bad. Yes, the Cronkies have freed up the money a little bit more. And we have spent money under Arteta. But when it comes to penny pinching and identifying targets and getting them over the line, we're awful. Absolutely awful at it.
Yeah, listen, I agree with you. I mean, we've got two more players that I want to get through before we wrap up. Deji's got to go now. Dej, listen, what's your final words, bro?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, you man enjoy the season, innit? It's like I said to you, you guys are having what I call a freak season, and I don't want you guys to view that as a disparaging comment. It's not a disparaging comment. Leicester enjoyed it, and I've made history with it. And you guys should lap it up as well and have a little bit of chest that you guys are having a unique season. And yeah, currently you guys are winning the war. As for me, my club, we need a change. We need Conte out. If anyone asks me, do I want him out? The answer is yes. I want a Marco Silva. I want a Pochettino for my club to turn it around. But at the moment, we just have to sit back and wait. All of our eggs are in one basket, the Champions League. And if we get out of the Champions League, then our season's done. In the meantime, we just have to watch Arsenal win week in, week out. So, yeah, well done to Arsenal. Thanks for wrapping up the league so early. And we'll crack on.
Listen, Dej, last question, because this is a good question. Deji, what's your prediction for the Man City game?
Yeah, I hope Tottenham get slapped 7 or 8-0.
Nah, come on. We need a win, bro. Come on.
No. I need Conte out. If Tottenham get slapped 5 or more, he's out. I can see Conte being out of a job this weekend. So
you get Samuel Adichie to the end of the season?
No. We're going to get Poch, bro.
Before you go as well, Dej, right? Respect as well for coming on and taking the heat like a proper, like a real man. That, a lot of these fans, when they're going through a bit of shit and that, they tend to hide.
Yeah.
Respect to you for not hiding.
Thank you.
Just quickly, would you take Thomas Frank as your manager?
I think he's doing a great job at Brentford. I just feel like Thomas Frank almost reminds me of Alan Kirbishley. Alan Kirbishley was doing a great job with Charlton, and then I think he went to West Ham and it just finished him. I think Thomas Frank at Brentford is a legend. Take him out and he might struggle. I think he would be playing high stakes poker if he was to move. So my answer would be no. I just don't think he could have. I think Tottenham's too big a club, and we've seen managers like that. So yeah, I like him, but I think Tottenham's too big a club.
Fair enough. Listen, that was nice from Arsenal, Manic. Deji, everyone loves you here, regardless. Come on, man. It's familiar here, Deji.
Hey, mate, it's taken about 9 months to get a nice comment from Arsenal Manic, because he's normally trolling me. But yeah, love back, Arsenal Manic, you get me. But yeah, look, it's a pleasure, and you, man, are doing a great job. Your team's playing good football, and you guys deserve to be top of the league. Look, I'll be stupid to say otherwise. Yeah, it's hard to take, it's hard to see, but all is not lost. The only thing that I can hold on to is, regardless of what Brandon says, and he's a lawyer. He's the Lincoln lawyer. We've got another Lincoln lawyer in Northside. Is until Tottenham are at the Champions League, you can say what you like. It just sounds like girls allowed, shoulda, woulda, coulda. So I'm not listening to any of you. And as long as Spurs are in the Champions League, we still have hope.
Dej, why are you attacking, man? Like, I didn't do nothing, bro. I just asked questions.
Just saying. I know where your questions are coming from.
Listen, big up Dej, man, and everyone. Listen, make sure you subscribe to Deji's channel. The link is in the title of this video. So make sure you like and subscribe to Dej, man. He's a good sport. Unlike man like Fuad, when things go sideways, he doesn't turn up. At least one thing we can always say about Dej, he always turns up. He might be a day late. Obviously, he's doing his Googles, going on Twitter, looking at the excuses. Every time we have to push the show back. This show was supposed to be yesterday, and this few that put that on that, bro. You know, he comes with, bro, can we do it tomorrow, like at 9? You know what I'm talking about, Dej. Every show, bro. I put it up for one day, I gotta push it. But listen, you know what? At the end of the day, you do show up. And at the end of the day, you know what? Yeah. Eventually, me and Brandon will get you to convert. You know what I'm saying? We'll slip you some. We'll get you to convert. Don't worry, man. You can listen. If we win the league, you can start going to the Arsenal games with us, bro. Don't worry. We got you.
If I get caught outside the Emirates Stadium, it's gonna be by mistake. I swear, Dan, it's gonna be by mistake. It's not happening. It's not happening, mate. But yeah, no, a pleasure. A pleasure as always. Brandon, big up to you. You get me always speaking the truth. Northside, you know, it's a pleasure. I look forward to these shows each and every week. But I'm not gonna lie. After a defeat like that, man needs 24 hours to acclimatize and to get my argument in a coherent order. And the truth of the matter is, you man are having a freak season, and well done.
Just do your job against Man City, yeah. Come on, you Spurs. What's you lot's tune? Come on, you Spurs. What is it? What do you lot say?
Nah, I want Conte out. That's what we're singing. Conte out.
Nah, man. Come on, man. We needed to put that little sparkle and just get, you know. Shit
We're not doing you, man, any favors. Don't be silly.
Come on, bro. That's the only time you lot are gonna see a league, bro. When we win it at White Hart Lane, or you.
If I was in charge, I'd play the under 23s. Just so you know.
But you already donated 6 points to us in our title challenge. You might as well just do us an extra favor, like. Come on.
Nah.
Listen, Dej. We'll speak to you soon, yeah? Love, bro.
Yeah, no problems. Thank you.
Love. Right, Brandon. 2 players, and this player here, and I'm gonna quickly get into it and get your opinion. Declan Rice. The problem with going for Declan Rice, we keep getting linked to Declan Rice. We already lost to Chelsea to get João Felix, to get Mudryk. Declan Rice has been linked to Chelsea the last couple of months. I keep seeing them being linked to Chelsea. Now, Chelsea look like they're in business. So when they're going in for a player, how much is it? Put the money down. And I see them using Arsenal once again, just like João Felix, just like Mudryk, seeing how much the player costs. And then at the last minute, when they know what the negotiations is, what the agent wants, what the player wants, what the club wants, boom, go and put the money down, because they know that Arsenal are going to put a bid, and that's not going to be the bid that West Ham want, get declined. Second bid, get declined. Third bid, get declined. And the thing is, I just don't see him coming to Arsenal like over Chelsea, because I just see them giving the player what he wants. And at the end of the day, money talks. And for me, we should have played it. We should have played it the way Liverpool played it when they were rebuilding their squad. Liverpool were playing broke. The only time when Liverpool started showing their money is when they couldn't hide it. When they sold Coutinho, they couldn't hide the fact that they just received all that money for Coutinho. Yeah, and then they spurged the big money. But before then, they were playing broke. How much did they buy Salah for? How much did they buy Salah and Mane for? They played broke, and that's what we should have done. Played broke as if we ain't got the money. But we already showed our hand that we have 100 mil that we could spend this window, minimum. So I already see the price of Declan Rice already being too much. We've seen him, that they're touting him for 100, 120. I think he's another British player that's overrated. Is he better than El Nene? Yes. Would I be angry if he come? No, because it's an upgrade on El Nene. Yeah, I wouldn't. But I don't want to pay over the odds for Declan Rice, because I feel like Palhinha is a better CDM, and I think there's other CDMs out there. Even the CDM for Morocco that played very well. I forgot his name now. I can only remember Onani.
Amrabat.
Him. What's his name? Amrabat. That's it. Exactly. And I just feel like West Ham, obviously, they're going to want to, get as much money as they can for Declan Rice. So they're going to want minimum 100 million, knowing that we can spend that comfortably. Do you know what I'm saying? And I just feel like he's not worth that amount of money. And with all the position that we got, I don't think it's worth it. But now we kind of shot ourselves in the foot. Instead of playing broke, we ain't played broke. And now we've shown how much we've got. And I just think it's ridiculous. And I just don't think the player's worth it. What do you think about Declan Rice? Do you disagree with me? Do you think he is worth 100 mil, 120 mil?
I totally agree with you. I would take Declan Rice at Arsenal, but I do think that English tax and the overhype that surrounds him will overprice him. But I also see it North Side as a perfect opportunity to get a little bit of payback on Chelsea, right? Because if Arsenal were smart, if Arsenal were a smart football club, right, this is what I would do if I was in charge. I'd be like, okay. Chelsea clearly very interested in Declan Rice. Chelsea are clearly willing to spend whatever it takes to get their man. I'll tell you what, we know we're going to get priced out of this deal because we can't afford it. But let's try and drive that price tag up so Chelsea have to pay more than what double the amount to what he's worth, and try and fuck them up a little bit for stealing Mudryk offers, for stealing Felix offers. That's what my attitude would be if I was in charge of Arsenal. I'd have a cheeky little phone call to West Ham and say, look, we like Declan Rice. We want to buy him. How much is he? Right, okay, that's too expensive. But I'll tell you what, we can help you out here, right? You sell him. Chelsea want him. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to have a little bidding war with Chelsea. And I want you to keep rejecting and rejecting and rejecting and rejecting until it reaches a price which is beyond belief, ridiculous. And then you accept Chelsea's bid. And then they want the player, they got to pay the money. That's it. Done. And then all of a sudden you've got an 80, well, he's currently valued at £80 million. Declan Rice going to Chelsea for 130 million or something stupid like that. That's how I would do that. Get a little bit of revenge on Chelsea because let's be honest, I would take Declan Rice 100%. Do I think we'll get Declan Rice? No, because I believe we will be priced out of the market for him. I genuinely do. We've already seen it with Mudryk, right? Let's not forget, this is a guy that Arsenal wanted since the summer. This so-called up-and-coming player, right? If we was that desperate to get him, we would have paid the extra €5 million. If we was that desperate to get him, we would have matched Chelsea's offer. We didn't. And I see the same thing happening with Declan Rice. It's going to be a bidding war between us and Chelsea and maybe another, couple of clubs as well. But I think Chelsea will end up with Declan Rice in the end. So the best thing we can do is drive that price tag up and go, fuck you, Bowley.
Fair enough. I can't argue with anything you just said. I want to address this comment because I've been waiting for someone to drop a comment like this. Northside, you spent a whole 2 years abusing Arteta. Now you're shamelessly jumping on the bandwagon when he's proved you wrong. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's get straight into it, Joe. People like you, yeah, why are you happy right now that we're in a title race? When me and Brandon were saying that 8th ain't good enough, 5th ain't good enough, you lot were saying accept it. So why are you happy? We kept the standard that it's about winning the league and competing for the league, yeah? So if it was negative for us to demand it then, why are you happy that now your standard is to win the league? I thought that's a negative stance. I thought saying wanting your club to win major honours and compete is negative. So why is it only positive now? We kept the same standard, yeah? And it's funny, the standard that we got cussed for, that is this club is the third biggest club in this country and should be competing for major honours, is now the standard that everyone now is gassed in this fan base. So why is it wrong when my club is finishing 8th and 5th? Why is it wrong for me to want to win the league? But now you're happy, and fans like yourself that were saying justifying 8th and 5th and let's just get top 4. Why are you so giddy? I thought that mindset is negative. It's toxic. Go down to Tottenham. Go down to the lane. Yeah? When I criticize Arteta, it's because 8th and 5th isn't good enough. And if it was good enough, how come fans like you were angry and demanded for Arsene Wenger to leave this club because we're fed up of getting 5th and 4th and not competing for major honours? Who was a bigger legend? Arsene Wenger or Arteta? And we wasn't happy with Arsene Wenger finishing in those positions. Yeah? When I cussed Nketiah, was he doing enough? When I cussed Odegaard last season, was he doing enough? When I cussed Ben White, was he doing enough? Clearly not, because his manager's now moved him to right back. So at the end of the day, don't now come trying to talk absolute porcaria lixo merda to me, yeah? Because the standard that me, Brandon, Lee, Gracie, Jez, the standard that we kept is now the standard that's got this whole fan base united and gassed. Yeah? So why didn't you keep those same standards and same energy when we wasn't doing that? Why? Why is it only positive to do it now? At the end of the day, I wanted the best for my club. And now that my club is doing it, I'm more than happy. And like I said, I want this manager to prove me wrong. Yeah? When he got the job requirement should be competing year in, year out for major honours. Now that he's doing it, I'm now telling him that he's doing a good job. Yeah? Now go and demand more so that we don't have this Achilles heel, which is the bench. What I don't understand is people like you that want to jump on the bandwagon. At the end of the day, fans like you are the ones that are going to say at the end of the season, like last season, if we don't win the league, oh, we're ahead of schedule. Fuck that. Go out and get what's needed right now. Go and get the players right now. Yeah? I don't change for no one. The standard, whether it's Arteta, whether the next manager is Rodgers, or I don't care whoever it is, whether it's Simeone, the standard at Arsenal is to win the league. Yeah? I'm sorry that only now you're catching up with the shit that I've been saying, bro. I'm sorry about that. But what do you want me to say? At the end of the day, people like me and Brandon are more real. When we see that Odegaard's playing, we say you're playing well. When we see that Ben White is sourcing, we say that you're playing well. And when we see that you're playing shit, we're going to say it. Everything I said, I don't take nothing back. Last season wasn't good enough. The season before that wasn't good enough. The season before that wasn't good enough. The season with Emery wasn't good enough. So what do you want me to say? But now that he's doing what is required, this is what you get paid for. This is the point. This is the reason why you're the Arsenal manager. Yeah? And the reason why people like you now want to chat shit about Tottenham, yeah? Well, your mentality is just like Tottenham. Just like Deji when he was just on now. Oh, as long as we play sexy football, that's all I care about. Yeah? Then why do you take the piss out of Tottenham then? Because they've played good football all my life. But what have they won? Football's about winning. I demand winning at my club. Yeah? And if you don't like that, go support Tottenham. I don't care just about pretty football. I care about winning. The reason we're a bigger club than Tottenham is because of trophies. So, sorry, but you ain't going to hear an apology from me, bruv. My standard was this standard that we're seeing this year, especially with how much they charge fans for tickets, for the food in the stadium, etc., and the merchandise. Yeah, if we're gonna play the big dough, let's get the quality football. You don't go Harrods and get a Primark shirt. You go Harrods and get a nice Kenzo shirt, don't you? So I'm not hearing it. That's what I got to say. Brandon, you got anything to say on it?
I couldn't have said it better myself, mate. To be honest with you, I mean, bring up that comment again, Northside, just so I can digest what was said. Right? Spent the whole 2 years abusing Arteta, yes, because he wasn't doing a good enough job. Nobody here can sit here and say that he was doing a good enough job because he wasn't. Even the most ardent Arteta fans, at some point during one of them 2 seasons, thought about, or it actually came out of their mouths that they didn't think it was going anywhere. When we were sat 15th in the league, you can't genuinely sit here and tell me, anybody can't genuinely sit here and tell me that they still wanted to keep this guy in the job, because you'll be lying. Yeah, because things weren't going well. So now that me and Northside are with the project, okay, maybe we're shameless because we didn't see like apparently the rest of you did, right? Even though you've just been living off hope, right, and accepting mediocrity, okay? But maybe we're shameless because we didn't see what Arteta was building at Arsenal. We didn't realise that Arteta could do as good as what he is doing right now, right? So we'll hold our hands up for that. Yeah? We'll hold our hands up for that. However, nothing has been won yet. And until it is, it doesn't change. Yeah? I will sit here and I will praise Arteta to the hill for this season because he has done absolute miracles and wonders with that squad. And like Northside said, I am only holding Arteta and Arsenal to the standard that I held them 2 years ago. Win the fucking league. It's been 18 years. Get it done. We are not a small club. We are a big club. Stop acting like a small club. Now we're not acting like a small club. And what do you see? The fan base is united. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's enjoying watching football. Everybody's enjoying being an Arsenal fan again. So all this shit that you lot come with about, oh, he's shameless. Oh, he was criticising Arteta 2 years ago. Yeah, we was. And guess what? You should have been too. You should have been too, because it wasn't fucking good enough. Now it is. We can all enjoy ourselves. But if it all falls down at the end of the season and we don't win this league title, trust me and Northside and Lee and Jez and everybody else who's a realist will come with the same thing that we've been saying. It is not good enough if Arsenal are not competing for league titles. And if it all falls down, we'll be back with the same thing. We don't sit here changing our mind when the wind blows this way and then when the wind blows that way. Because no doubt Joe, or whatever his name is, was one of the Arsenal fans who was giving it all this, oh, Mudryk, oh yeah, oh, he's... And then as soon as he signs for Chelsea, oh, well, we didn't need Mudryk anyway. No doubt he was one of them, yeah? Shut up. Fucking hell, man.
That's what I'm talking about. It's like, I've given praise to a lot of players, and I'm sure you have as well, Brandon. We've given praise to a lot of players that we've cast because we wanted better. And surprise, when we said, Odegaard, stop playing it backwards, sideways, and go forward, his game has improved.
Start shooting from outside of the box. And guess what? He scored against Tottenham.
Almost had a brace. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. When we're saying Saka, be more clinical, we're in a title race. When we're saying Nketiah, you need to score more goals, we haven't missed Jesus as much as I thought we would have. You know what I'm saying? When we're saying Ben White, you're not good enough as a centre-back. Oh, he moves as a right-back. We're top of the league. So at the end of the day, we don't care about who's right or who's wrong. At the end of the day, I'd rather be in the mud, still holding the Premier League, than spewing out all this crap that certain people that are flip-flops, that won't even come on camera when I put the link out and say what they got to say and show their face. That's all I got to say. And Arsenal Manic, you asked me a question. What is that word, bucaria? Means shit. Yeah, bucaria or merda in Portuguese means shit. That's what it means. So there you go. You know what I'm saying? Rosetta Stone out here. You know? Now, I want to hear your thoughts on him first. Rafinha. Brandon, what do you make of Rafinha being linked to Arsenal?
Oh, mate. Rafinha. He hasn't really done it at Barcelona, has he? I mean, he's done okay, but he hasn't, lit the world on fire for the money that they paid for him. I see him as a realistic target, right? And the reason I say this is because obviously Barcelona are in, still in a bit of money trouble, whatever. And he could be a player that they could move on just to be able to get themselves out of financial, problems. And he's obviously a player that, we looked at before and that Arteta looked at before. But I don't know. I kind of feel like that ship sailed, mate. It's the same with like the Dusan Vlahovic thing. Arsenal fans are saying, oh, go back in for Vlahovic. Go get Vlahovic. And I'm like, why? The geezer didn't want to come to us the first time round. So why would you go and sign him now? Surely we want players at this football club that want to play for this football club, that put Arsenal first before anything else. So if you go and get a Dusan Vlahovic or you go and get a Rafinha, you're getting ultimately a mercenary, really, because they don't care about the football club. Rafinha wanted to go to Barcelona. Vlahovic wanted to go to Juve. What a big mistake that was, by the way, because they're in an absolute fucking mess right now. Right? But the point is why go? It's like Deji going back with his fucking Pochettino. Do you know what I mean? Why go back on things that are like ships that have already sailed? There's no need. Like, just find a different alternative. I've already mentioned alternatives. Northside's already mentioned alternatives. Leandro Trossard, yeah. Mitoma, is another one from Brighton. If you really want to go out and get him, you got Wilfried Zaha. Yeah, he's not the greatest winger in the world, but we don't need great right now. We need strength in depth. We don't need somebody who's going to come in and necessarily take this team to the next level, because I think what a lot of people are not realising is our current first 11, believe it or not, has got us to top of the league. Yeah, we've drew 1 game, 2 games this season, lost 1 game. Our first 11 is clearly more than good enough to win this league, because they're currently doing that right now. We don't need a world beater. We need players that can of a decent enough quality so that we can rotate and keep our first 11 fit. We don't need none of this, Rafinha and Mudryk, and forget that. Bring me a Leandro Trossard. Bring me a Amrabat, or I don't know, somebody who can do a decent enough role in the midfield. The Tielemans, whatever. Yeah, bring me somebody who's Premier League proven, who can do a job for now. Now, forget the future. All this shit about Declan Rice and that. I don't care about that. That's the summer. We ain't getting him in January. We ain't getting him at all, but we ain't getting him in January. That's for sure. So why, and it's just typical of the club as well, with their PR stunts. All of a sudden you're seeing links to Declan Rice and links to this player and that player, when we all know that we're not signing them in January. So already that's telling me that the club are throwing out a load of PR to get you excited about the summer transfer window, and try and forget that we're currently in a fucking transfer window and we need to do more than what we're doing. And you are all lapping it up. Why? We need players now. What is it? Day 17. Still no signings. It's ridiculous, bro. It really is. And I'm not even going to criticise Arteta on this either, because I know he's part of the transfer, thing. But let's be honest, right? Arteta's job is to be the manager of the current squad. His focus is more on what is happening right now. What game have we got coming next? Right, training sessions, prepare for that, blah, blah, blah. He's not the one negotiating. And he has come out in multiple interviews and said, I need more players. So if anything goes wrong in this window and we end up with nobody, I'm not going to blame Arteta. I won't blame Arteta, because he has actually come out in interviews and said, I want more players. I need more players. I haven't got a big enough squad. The people who will be getting it will be Edu, Richard Garlick, and that fucking sofa salesman, Vinay. So,
No, listen, I can't argue with that. I look at it like this. Rafinha is 26 years old, 15 appearances in La Liga, 2 goals, 2 assists. Now, they want upwards of 50 mil, 50, 60, 70 mil. Yeah, they're going to want to recoup the money that they spent on Rafinha. It's not like he's ripping up trees. So why are we going to spend that kind of money? You know what I mean? On a player that's not playing to the level that was expected when he moved to La Liga, playing for Barcelona, one of the favourites in that league to win the league, and he's underperforming. I know they're rebuilding, but at the end of the day, that's not good enough. And if we're going to blow 70, 80 mil, let's say the budget's 100 mil, we have so many more positions that need to be filled. I don't understand. For me, I think Zaha is technically better. From what I've seen for Rafinha, even when he shows up for Brazil, I see that if he doesn't have space in behind, just like Salah, the guy isn't good enough. Technically, I don't think he's good enough. He's very fast, but I don't think he's more prolific than Zaha. I think Zaha is a more tricky winger. Zaha can beat a man. One-on-one, he can beat you. So not only is he fast, but he can beat you. Do you know what I'm saying? And for another player like Zaha, that's been doing it for more years in the Premier League, at a quarter of the price, it's a no-brainer. It is an absolute no-brainer. I'd rather even go get Leonardo Trossard because we have, like you said, so many positions to fill, and we don't know what the actual budget is. Yes, we was going to spend 100 on Mudryk. Maybe we only had another 30, 40 left for another player, if they were going to go in for another player. So many positions. Why go for Rafinha when you can see a deal in Zaha, a deal with Trossard, a deal in players like this? Why go in for Rafinha? It doesn't make any sense. 26 years old, turning 27, you're paying that amount of money. Is he gonna displace one of our wingers? Because with that outlet, does he displace Saka? No. So why are we gonna spend that kind of money? Do you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't really make any sense to me why to go in with Rafinha. That boat for me, like you said, has sailed. We tried it. He didn't want us, and now it's just like you're coming to us because Barcelona are trying to get rid of you and trying to cook the books and get some money back. For me, now. I want at least 3 players, and getting Rafinha for the price that they want Rafinha for just doesn't make any sense. We won't have the budget, in my opinion. I don't know, but in my opinion, I don't think we'll have the budget to at least minimum 3 players. We need another striker. We need possibly another CDM and a deep line playmaker, and that's without me even saying, a winger and a right back. That's what we really need to secure going in serious and continuing the momentum that we have. At the end of the day, are we going to get all the players that we need in those positions? No, I don't see it. I don't see it happening. But at the end of the day, why blow 70 mil on a player that, does anyone think he's world class? Does anyone even put Rafinha above Richarlison? How highly do we rate him? So
well, this is it.
Why? Why 70 mil?
If we're going to get any player from Barcelona, I'd rather Arsenal sign Ferran Torres, right? Because he's not as much of a big name or anything like that, and he will cost a decent amount of money. But he's a player who can at least play striker. He can play across the front 3. So, he's offering you that versatility as well. Rafinha isn't. Like you said, he's not going to displace Saka. He's not going to displace Martinelli. But Ferran Torres might displace Eddie Nketiah. I don't know. But I don't know. I find it difficult to stay calm about this transfer window.
When you're looking at these players that I've just brought up, those are just players I've seen today, Brandon, yeah? Of players that we're linked to. When Arsenal Manic, I know you're bantering.
I'll tell you what, right?
You want to talk about Tielemans? We're not talking about Tielemans because I'm sick and tired. If I never see Tielemans again in my life, trust me, it's going to be
If we want to go drop
go on.
60, 70 million pound on a winger, why not go and get Leroy Sané? Just saying.
I can't.
Ex-Man City player. He knows the Premier League. I'm not sure he's particularly happy at Bayern Munich. I don't know. I don't watch the Bundesliga. Like I say, it's dead. But he could be gettable. Arteta knows him as well. That would make more sense to me. Do you know what I mean? And that is a player who could potentially displace Martinelli or Saka. That would make more sense. But this Mudryk and Rafinha, and it makes no sense to me, bro. Makes absolutely 0 sense.
I mean, let's wrap it up on this. When we're looking at Moussa Diaby, Leonardo Trossard, Declan Rice, Rafinha, does it even seem like Arsenal have learned? Last season, we were chasing Vlahovic as last minute. We were chasing Alexander Isak. Remember, they thought they saw his number plate in his car in London. We tried to go last minute for Douglas Luiz. This is what infuriates me, Brandon, is that I see the same bullshit, the same bucaria, the same merda every flipping transfer window. We don't get the target that we want. We waste half of the window, and then it's like scattergun. Scattergun. All of a sudden, we're in for him. Oh, we're in for him. And you can put it back even further. We know the times that we were linked to players like Higuain, Draxler, all these players that we're linked to, we didn't get, and then with scattergun, who can we go out and get? And that is what's infuriating about Edu. Arteta has earned his money this season. I don't think anyone can debate that. Now go and just do what you need to do. Go out there and get the players. Why are we out here haggling and not knowing? How can you scout? Yeah, this is what infuriates me, bro. How can you scout Mudryk for 7, 8, 9 months, yeah, and still you're haggling when the transfer window's open? How can you do that? It's infuriating, Brandon, because I'm not seeing a clear plan. We have about 5 or 6 positions that we need to fulfill. Why is it that we haven't even got one of them done, Brandon? Not one, bro.
Yeah, but why did he even need to sign him in the transfer window? This is another thing that fans are missing, right? We wasted half the window chasing this Mudryk guy. We spent 8 months scouting him, right? Look at Christopher Nkunku. Perfect example. That deal for him to leave Leipzig and go to Chelsea was wrapped up before the transfer window even opened. This Mudryk deal should have been wrapped up before the transfer window even opened. And then the moment that the transfer window opened in January, you announced the deal. But instead, like you say, we dilly-dally, we piss about, we make offers that, are irrelevant because it's quite obvious that the club that we're negotiating with are not going to accept them. So we're pissing about, wasting time. And then we allow clubs like Chelsea and other clubs to come in and steal them offers. It's our own doing. It's Edu's doing. And this guy, right, Edu, because I know we've been on stream for a long time, but people have got to realise that he is the biggest fraud in terms of being a technical director and a transfer negotiator in world football. This guy, because of what we're doing this season, he looks good on paper because he was the guy who negotiated bringing in Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, the players that have made the difference. But let's look at the deals that he's actually done. How many deals have we got for players in our first 11 at a cut price? Because Aaron Ramsdale, we got quoted at £30 million. We tried to negotiate. We ended up paying £30 million. Yeah? Ben White, 50 million was the price. We tried to negotiate. We ended up paying the £50 million. Thomas Partey, release clause, 45 million. We tried to negotiate. We ended up paying the release clause. 2 weeks after, we should have bought him. And he could have helped us. Right? Who else? I can go on and on and on and on. I really can. Gabriel Jesus. I'm sure, the price again. I'm sure City said 45 mil. We paid 45 mil. Zinchenko, 30 mil. The Zinchenko deal, I don't know what the original price was. I'm assuming it was 30 mil. But to me, 30 mil was not enough for Zinchenko. So I would kind of say, maybe we did get a little bit of a cut deal on that one. But that's the only deal out of all of the players that we've signed under Mikel Arteta where we can sit there and say, well, we've actually got a half-decent deal out of this. So he sits there, he laps it up on paper because we're doing well. And he's all of a sudden this great transfer negotiator and he's getting promotions and stuff like that. He's fucking useless, mate. I could do that job. Oh, 50 mil for Ben White.
Right, Eddie can't negotiate. He even paid Brazilian side 3 mil for a free player in the north side. Bro, I forgot about that. Yeah, my kid, I forgot. Bro, I forgot about that one. Just to your point, Brandon.
Yeah, as a gesture of goodwill. So, he can't negotiate deals down and then he's paying money to players that are for free. It's madness, bro. And he's getting promotions and stuff like that. I could do that job. I really could. Oh, what's that, Brighton? 50 mil for Ben White? Well, I don't really want to pay that. Oh, well, you got to because, otherwise you're not having the player. Oh, okay. I'll give you the 50 mil in the end then. It's not, do you know what I mean? Well, I don't know. This guy is he's getting away with murder, right? At this moment in time. But I think if all things go tits up, and we don't get the players that we want in January, and it ends up costing us the league, I think that's when this fan base might actually wake up and realise that he is a fraud, an absolute fraud.
I disagree. I agree with what you said a couple of streams ago. You said something and you were bang on. You said, if we don't win the league, the excuse will be, well, it's a 5-6 year process. Remember when they came out and said that, and we're ahead of schedule. We wasn't expected to be competing for the league. We're ahead of schedule. We'll go again next season. Don't panic. There's a clear plan. And we've done very well this season when you look at the squad that we have. And they're going to negate the fact that January, once again, we didn't do what we needed to do like last January, and we could have strengthened the team. When you said that, I couldn't argue with that. That was exactly to the T the mentality of these fans. That is it. Someone saying, no, you take Firmino as a striker, experienced and proven winner. No. And the reason I wouldn't take him is because what does he offer me that Jesus doesn't? Another striker that isn't the most clinical. Yeah, he scores a couple of goals, but he's not the most clinical. Does he offer us something different? Okay, cool. You can argue that he can come in and he can do exactly the same job as Jesus. Drop in deep, bring players, bring the midfielders into the game, bring the wingers into the game, and be that link guy, that false nine. Cool, I understand that. But at the end of the day, we do need a clinical goal scorer as well, because when we come unstuck with Jesus, let's be real, before he got injured, it's not like he was scoring loads of goals. At times, we're going to need somebody off the bench that can come on and get us the 1-0, or get us the, make the 1-1 into a 2-1 or into a 3-1 or whatever, and get us those 3 points. And if we get Firmino, can we rely on him to be that kind of striker? I don't think so. I'm not trying to shit on Firmino, but the thing is, you need different tools. And like I said, Alex Ferguson's the best manager I've ever seen in the Premier League, and he always had a mixture of different players. For every Rooney, you had a Tevez, then you had a Berbatov. You had Van Nistelrooy. You had all these different players. York. You know what I mean? All these kind of strikers that are all very different. The way they play is very different. So if a team is shutting up shop against a Rooney, you got a Van Persie that can come on. You give him the ball in the box, he's going to put it in the back of the net. Or a Berbatov, he ain't going to run the channels like Rooney. He's a fox in the box. You give him the ball in the box, he's clinical with the finishing. You need that variety. What I don't understand is these new age fans look at football and say, because it's working with Jesus, every striker we got to be like Jesus. I'm not saying that you're saying that, bro, with your comment, but I see that a lot with Arsenal. It's like, no. Like, we need a variety. We don't just need everyone to be exactly the same. Because when you get games like Newcastle, games like Manchester United, when you got the whole bench that everyone plays similar to the starting 11, you can't change the game because you don't have the tools, you don't have the players that offer you something different. I don't know.
It's hard, isn't it, Northside? Because we speak with logic, or we try to speak with logic, but it's hard to drum it into these people's heads. Do you know what I mean? Like,
this is why most people that watch the channel, you lot get it. We're not directing it at you lot.
No, but
we know
this
is why the ones that don't, like Joe.
Yeah, but this is why you got me and Northside and a good handful of other Arsenal fans saying, look, if we're going to sign a striker, why don't you go and get me someone like a Mitrovic, someone like an Ivan Toney? Why? Because they offer something different. They're big, they're strong, they're physical. Eddie Nketiah and Jesus want to play in very similar ways. They want to drop deep for the ball. They want to run in behind. They want to try and link up play. But if you've got too many players that are too similar, you become predictable. Look at Liverpool now. Predictable. Everybody knows that, now that Mane's gone, who's going to get most of the goals? Salah. Right, how do we nullify him? Too predictable. And that's what will happen to us if we keep, going with these same players. That's why I'd love to see like a Mitrovic or an Ivan Toney at Arsenal. I think they'd do an excellent job as well. But I don't know, Northside. I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to wrap this up, bro, because I am knackered. I've got work early in the morning as well. and
Nah,
all
me
that.
too. Me too. Maybe I shouldn't have got into the transfers because this is what happens.
Well, this is it. But you know, cooking Dej like flipping him like a McDonald's burger, bro. It's took it all out of me and all. So
Listen, it is what it is. People, let me know in the comments if you want me and Brandon to do a show. Brandon's always coming on, and like you already know, Brandon. Even if you come in the comments, I'll put the link out. You can come on, as you say. I always like having conversations with you. Maybe we can do a weekly show because obviously I haven't got a weekly. Fuad is always too busy and he runs every time. Things go sideways. You already know what Fuad is, man. That guy, bruv, he flips more like a yo-yo. But it is what it is. Let me know because you lot seem to enjoy Brandon being on the channel. If we can get it every week or every other week, maybe we can do a weekly show alongside the Deji show. It's called the Rival Show, but man's calling it the Deji Show,
Mr. Dej.
But big up to Dej. Listen, people, I know you lot give him stick, but at the end of the day, at least he's got the cojones to actually turn up. Like I said, it's very hard for me to bring forward. Forward comes in the chat, talks a bit of crap for 2 minutes, and then he cuts. So Forward, every time I send him the link or say he wants to jump on, most of the time he goes running. This season's more available. I wonder why. You know what I'm saying? But listen, Brandon, cheers for jumping on. And yeah, man, listen, it is what it is. We move. Quick score prediction for the game against Man United.
This could be a tough game, bro. I'm gonna go 2-1 Arsenal. I think we'll just have enough Manchester United. Hopefully, apparently, I don't know if you know this, but Casemiro's on 4 yellow cards. So if he gets a yellow card against Palace tomorrow night, then he'll be out of the game. So let's hope and pray. But even if you don't, I see us getting over the line anyway, because we've got more time to prepare for it. It's out at our stadium in front of our fans. We're going to want to get revenge on them as well. It's a chance to go even further at the top of the league. So yeah, I see us winning that 2-1, bro.
Do you know what? I predicted 2-1 against Tottenham when everyone predicted a draw. I'm going with another win. I'm going to bank on Arteta learning his lesson, and I have been very impressed with Arteta and the players this season. The mentality, not giving up, and I feel like he will learn from Man United sitting back, sucking up all that pressure and trying to hit us on the counter. So I'm going to stay positive and continue to say that Arsenal will get another 3 points in the next game. And I'm going for a 2-1. And I'll go as far as a 3-1 against Man United if Casemiro's out, because I don't see them containing us if they don't have Casemiro in the middle. So hopefully you're right. Casemiro is not available, and we're able to pipe them. So yeah, man, I'm going to back the team. They've given me a lot of reason to back them this season. I backed them against Tottenham and they didn't let me down in the North London derby. I'm going to back them again. So there you go. 2-1 prediction from Brandon, 2-1 prediction for me against Man United this week. And people, make sure you like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, and let me know if you want Brandon on, if you want a show of me and Brandon. Yeah, we're not moaning so much this season. I know we've got a lot of things that we want to improve, but it's actually been quite a positive. Most streams are more positive than negative. We've only lost one game. So let me know, and I'm going to try my best to work around Brandon. And big up to Brandon. I know you got your family and your work and everything, so I appreciate it. It's been a 2-hour stream, and I do appreciate that, bro. So yeah, people, listen. North London derby, it is what it is. We move on to Man United, and hopefully we beat Man United and we pass that test, and we can go into the match against Man City with more confidence. And yeah, we're out, Kadam.